We're at Intelligent Content in San Jose, California, and I'm talking with Kyle Wiens of Dozuki. So Kyle, tell me, did you give a presentation here, or do you guys just have a booth presence?
We're exhibiting, but we're also going to speak tomorrow.
Okay, well, what's your presentation on?
I'm talking about a bunch of exciting stuff that we're doing. We create documentation software for people that are writing step-by-step visual instructions. So we're going to be talking about how to get people excited about doing practical things in the real world and how to use documentation to improve real-world processes.
So the key phrase that I like there is how to get people excited about stuff. And I noticed that you guys do some gamification of your stuff. Tell me kind of what you do to motivate people to contribute and how you reward them and so forth.
Yeah, so we run the largest repair manual in the world, iFixit, which is a compendium of instructions on how to fix everything from a car to an iPhone. And as you're following a repair, if you see an error in the manual, you can contribute, you can hit edit and pitch in and fix it. But we were trying to think of how can we motivate people, how can we get them excited to contribute more. And so we built in a reputation system where people earn points. The more that people, if you write a repair guide and somebody else uses it, you earn points. If you submit an answer that's useful and people vote you up, you get points. And then we have a collection of fun badges that you can earn for doing sort of weird or unusual things.
Do these things motivate the users to earn points? I mean, is it meaningful to them?
I mean, the trick with any reputation-based system is that you're building an economy, and if the points are meaningless, if it's trivial to get points, then there's no incentive for someone. So you have to create something where, just like in the monetary economy, money means something. Your point system has to mean something. So we spent a lot of time working on balancing it. Just like if you're building a video game and you had two different, you have the red team and the blue team, you have to make sure that it's not unbalanced, because if it's unbalanced, it stops being fun. And with a reputation system, you have to make sure that the points mean something, and that you've got something. I mean, if I'm awarding you points, that has to be something tangible that you did that made my life better, and I'm going to give you points for it.
So you said you have a lot of students that are kind of involved, or you mentioned that you sometimes contact professors and universities and have the students write manuals as part of their assignments, right? Or somebody told me that. Do the students get points, and then are those points factored into their grades ever?
We haven't gotten there yet. One of the challenges we have with our reputation system is that you write a manual, you don't get points or credit for it immediately. You get credit when people start using it, and that takes a while. So I might write a manual, and 6 months later you use it to fix something. I'm not going to get points up front. I'm going to get points later when you do the repair. So we have a delayed gratification. That's a bit of a challenge, and we're trying to work on ways that we can get people more excited. So we have students that will write repair manuals as part of their coursework. So we'll go to the university and say, hey, you have a tech writing class for engineers. That's fantastic. Would you like a real-world project for your class? And we've got professors at about 30 different universities that have found that this is a really useful project. So they use it in their class, and the gamification, the point-based system in the class is their grade. But there's a real-world benefit that they're writing a repair manual that's on iFixit.com that's going to be available for the long term.
So you talked earlier about like the challenges of trying to gamify, trying to make it balanced and meaningful. What are some other challenges you've faced in just trying to engage your audience?
You've got to find a way to connect. I mean, gamification and any sort of reputation-based system is really a proxy for people's intent. So you want to capture as much intent as you possibly can, and then channel it into pats on the back, ways that make people feel good. And motivating people to contribute reputation into the system, whether that's liking something or voting something up, that's difficult. You have to work on motivating those folks as well. So getting inputs into the system, I've found is the hardest, the most difficult part for us. Figuring out the balance and rewarding people, we've kind of got down, but we're always working on someone could be Googling and saying, hey, I broke my iPhone and it's doing this weird thing, what should I do? And you land on a question. How do we get people that land on that question to say, yes, that solved my problem, or yes, that was useful? And that engagement level is something that we're always continuing to work on. I don't think we have solved. We're excited about looking for other ways.
What would your site be like without that engagement layer? without that game layer. Would it be, a lot of people look at gamification and say non-mission critical, kind of icing on the cake. Is that the case, or is it actually like a core driver? If you took it away, would your site just still be pretty much the same, or what?
It's hard. I mean, it would be interesting to run an A/B test and see, right? I think for the anonymous user that's on our site, not contributing, not engaging, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
For the core community members, I think it's really a part of their day to day. And we have so with our point system, you limit out, you can earn 200 points a day, and they'll work until they hit the 200 points, and then they stop. As it shows, it really is, impacting their lives. Now, there's an extent that we don't really want them to be too addicted to it, so I'm not going to raise the cap. But that cap also sort of helps constrain inflation in the system.
Why don't you want them to be too addicted? Like, what do you mean?
Because we don't want people to burn out. We don't want people to Farmville on it and burn out. And then, right? I would much rather build a system that people want to contribute a little bit to every day for years at a time.
So you have 10,000 manuals on your site, or how many?
We've got about 10,000 how-to guides on iFixit. We've got how to fix your Starbucks barista espresso machine. We've got how to, how to change the oil in your car, how to fix your iPhone. So I've got an iPhone here, and the back of it just comes right off. So you can get in and replace the battery in an iPhone very easily.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And so then we took the software we used to build iFixit, and that's Dozuki, and we make it available to anyone that wants to teach people how to do something in the real world.
Yeah. Well, that's great. So if people want to learn more about Dozuki or iFixit, where should they go?
So our Dozuki software is at dozuki.com, D-O-Z-U-K-I, and iFixit is at iFixit.com. So if you've got anything that's broken, you want to take it apart, learn how to repair it yourself, we'll hook you up.
All right. Well, thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.